before we even went live, I wanted to bring this up again. This is what Shaq said about Zion. Remember, Zion had this triple-double. He said, "You giving him props for that? I need more. Anybody could get 20 points now. That's not good enough. I'm not impressed by that." Zion just had a triple-double. He's saying he's not impressed by that. Then Shaq somebody said Shaq doesn't know who coaches the Pistons. Players are only relatable to him if they are compared to the 90s players. Openly admits he doesn't watch Detroit after he called them boring. The Pistons season is one of the best stories in NBA, and this is how they are being discussed. Because, like I said, he just said Chauncey. He said Chauncey Billups, and then Candace Parker was saying, "Wait a minute, who?" He said Chauncey Billups. He coached for the Pistons, right? They said no. He said, well, they the same person. He said, "I don't watch Detroit," and I'm like, brother.
So why are you speaking on them?
That's my thing. Because I think they was talking about the Pistons are a good story. They're good. And he basically just said, they're boring, but it's like, bro, you can't tell me the Pistons.
Wasn't Cade on TNT before the All-Star break? Before All-Star, wasn't he on there talking?
He was on there. Yes, he was.
So make it make sense. How you don't know who coached the Pistons, but the player who was on the pit, and they were talking about his coach and their team's success while he was on TNT. How you don't know who the coach of the Pistons? And then on top of that, you can't just, even if you don't watch the Detroit Pistons, bro, you can easily look at their record last year, look at their record this year, and look at Cade's numbers and or even look at a couple of highlights and see if they're one of, I wouldn't say the most exciting, but they're one of the best, like you said, best storylines in the NBA right now. Like, what are we doing?
Let me see. I could probably pull the video up. I just gotta sign in.
Now him and Zion, he low key hating. I ain't gonna lie. He low key hating. Don't get me wrong, he is right. Anybody can score 20 in the NBA now, but come on now, bro. Zion just dropped a triple-double, bro. Just because you see Westbrook averages triple-double, that doesn't mean getting a triple-double is easy, bro. Not just anybody can get a triple-double.
I mean, honestly, they all hate, bro. And honestly, they don't watch. They just don't watch. You can tell.
I think the only person that really watches Kenny. I think he's the only one that really watches.
Bro, remember what Charles Barkley was hating on the Lakers, and he basically said they were good for 2 weeks, but they were definitely good for like a month or two? Like, what are we talking about, brother?
Man, I don't think Charles Barkley watches it. I think Charles Barkley just watched the little highlight clips they be showing that Thursday night of all the games. Or he got like a little stat guy.
Let me share my screen. We don't need to.
I will be interested. You said something very interesting about K.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
All right.
I will be interested. Something very interesting about K coming in. Great play.
Scroll up some more.
Oh, that's the most we can go.
You can't make it full. You're right there. Right there. Cool. Yeah, right there. Cool.
Player now at this stage, he plays at his own pace. Anybody that can consistently play at their own pace and put up numbers, it's a great player. I like the way he's playing. I like what Chauncey is doing. Those guys play hard. My favorite player on that team is Isaiah Stewart. Big body, hard guy. Like to knock people out, push people out.
No, I can't let this go. Like who? Who's doing it? You said Chauncey?
Chauncey's the coach, right?
Okay.
Portland. No.
Chauncey, he coaches Portland. I can't let this go.
JB Bickerstaff. That's what I mean. Hey, you know, first of all, I don't watch Detroit. How about that? Boo boo. I don't watch him. So
let that go.
I messed up. I made a mistake.
For the trail,
what you freaking do?
I mean this sincerely. I think you would enjoy watching the Detroit Pistons.
I don't really get
They play hard. Cade is phenomenal. Jalen Duren's your kind of big.
I love Cade. I love Isaiah Stewart. I will be interested. You said something very
Brother, be serious. Be serious.
Yeah, bro. They not one of the boring teams in the NBA, bro. You have K. First off, they got high flyers on top of that. Alice, Ashar Thompson. You know, Malik Beasley. He's athletic. They got Ron Holland, Jalen Duran. Like, bro, and then on top of that, they not exciting, bro. I think they didn't got into it. They didn't got into it a bunch of times this year. Like they didn't like scuffles and shit. They got into a bunch of scuffles this year too. So how is that boring? How is that not exciting? Like, I mean, granted, ain't nobody gonna fight in the NBA, but it's like they always getting into it. Their games are always high energy, great. They play great defense. They always play hard nose. How is they not entertaining? And you have one of the best young players in the league right now, bro. Like, what is he talking about?
Bro. And I mean, Shaq really just a hater. Like, he really is. He don't like the white. He think Bo is basically Wimby, and it's like, bro, be serious. You know damn well he not. He think Bo
He,
damn near the same
he
as
do
Wimby.
has the same skill set. He does have the same skill
He's
set
not
as
better than
Wimby,
Wimby though. He's not
but
better.
he's not better than Wimby. Yeah,
He's not
he's
better.
not better than Wimby.
He's not better than Wimby though. He's not. Look, and somebody said, I'm looking at this tweet. Shaq, you just said the same thing about Cage just being there. He said Shaq really looked dead in Cage's face talking about you an all-star, you playing fabulous while he probably hasn't watched the Pistons game all year.
Ain't watched
Such a
one game.
hypocrite. Just a hypocrite.
Bro, he probably looked at his numbers and was like, yeah, that's all-star worthy numbers.
But I mean, I've always said it about like the main media, man. I feel like they should always talk about other teams. Like the one thing I do agree with Charles is even though I disagree about the Lakers, we should talk about OKC and Cleveland more. Cleveland's on a 15-game winning streak. I still don't hear nothing about that. We still talking
You ain't
about the
heard nothing
Lakers,
about it
and
on ESPN.
I see the same thing. What does the Lakers mean without LeBron being there? Can Luka lead them to the play? It's like, bro, it's the same stuff every day, bro. And I get it. Those bring the views, and I agree. If you put anything LeBron, it's gonna get the views. Lakers get you the views. I get it. Boston, whatever. I get it. But we do got to give these teams some credit. Like we talking about the Thunder, but honestly, it's really because Shea just dropping 30 every night. Like, that's really it. But we really don't give them that love. We either talking about Boston only when they have a bad game or the Lakers just period.
Hey,
Like,
you remember that year?
Go ahead.
You remember that year when the Nuggets was number one and they were barely talking about the Nuggets?
Of course.
It's the same. So it's the same thing with Shea. Like you said, if Shea wasn't dropping 30 and they were still winning like this, they wouldn't even be talked about. They would not be talked about.
But I mean, it just proves that some of these old medias, and I think that's what I think NBC, if you ever see like NBC, like you probably ain't seen like their lineup they're doing, they're getting like more the younger type generation, not young, but kind of from the 2000s. Like they're bringing Dirk on there, pretty young. Blake Griffin, obviously really young. Gilbert Arenas, I know he said he was talking. He's probably one of the biggest faces on sports on YouTube right now.
I think that's a good move. I think that was a good move. Getting Gil on there, that was a good move.
Their Melo is going to be on there. Jamal
That's a good move.
Crawford is going to be on there. So they're bringing in these younger guys instead of like these older guys and who don't really watch basketball or they just hate on the game now because all they do is either hate. They really do.
So Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, and Chuck, they moving to ESPN.
Yes.
And NBC is they gonna have like their own little like lineup.
It's gonna be their own thing. Yes, they're totally different.
So theirs is gonna be what Melo. You said Melo, Gil, Dirk, Blake,
not Gil,
and Jamal.
He was talking to them about maybe getting on there. Just like a.
So it's not official. It's not official yet.
No,
or?
The Gil one isn't. The other ones
Okay,
are like official.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go back to the because I liked it. I hope it's still here. I liked it, but let me see if it's still here.
I'll say because I think Gil low key trying to get on ESPN. Cause when he had Stephen A on the show, he was talking about Stephen A was his boss and his big brother and all this, that, and the third. So I don't know if Gil is trying to get over to ESPN or what.
So it says that well, Blake Griffin and Dirk aren't going to be on there, but Mike Tirico, he's a good play-by-play. Noah Eagle, good play-by-play. They're supposed to have Jamal Crawford as a game analyst, Reggie Miller as a game analyst. I know he said he was going over there. Carmelo Anthony as a studio analyst. Then they said they're interested in Grant Hill and Dwayne Wade. So you're getting more of the young, getting like more of the younger guys. And their packages this year, like I think they're supposed to have like the biggest package out of everybody. Because NBC Prime, Peacock, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're supposed to have Monday games on Peacock, Tuesday games on NBC, Sunday night games. How they do Sunday night football? They're gonna have Sunday night games after basically the football season.
Okay.
Then they're doing the All-Star game.
My only thing is how they gonna make all that blend together. Because like Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck and Ernie, they all blended well together because they made it funny, they made it interactive. But like, if you really think about it, what big personalities do they have over there? Like Blake is not really no big personality. They say Blake tries to be like a comedian. Blake is on all these commercials and stuff like that. But Blake really isn't a comedian or like a big personality. Melo isn't either. Reggie Miller isn't. I mean, Reggie Miller talks shit, but I don't know. I wonder how it's gonna be because Dwayne Wade ain't really like that either. Like, who is gonna be your Chuck and your Shaq?
Maybe they don't want to do it that way. Maybe they wanted to actually make it legit for analysis because I think some people actually like to hear say like the full analysis or like say, hey, what did LeBron do on this play? Luka did on this play. Maybe some. I don't know. And
I mean, but you gotta have a balance. You gotta have that.
No. I get that, but at the same time, we don't know because obviously it might be different. But Melo on his podcast, he be talking like like a dude. He be talking. So we don't know. We don't know if they're gonna make it. How they might. NBC might let them get away with some stuff because obviously TNT they let them get away with a lot of crap. So maybe NBC might do the same thing. I don't know, but nobody goes to TNT for analysis. We go because it's funny. That's literally the only reason because it's funny. So maybe they might do it with this group. I don't know how it'll work. Maybe in the beginning it might look a little ill, but maybe over time it might look good. So you just don't know. But I just like they're getting the younger type generation. Well, at least people that can recognize us. Like they know, okay, we know that he does this instead of, man, if it was back in my day, man, I would never. Bro, shut up. Like no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares. Like this is not the 80s and the 90s no more, bro. We're in 2025 now. Like stop. No one cares. Like that's all I'm saying, man. But I just don't like that how your job is to watch the NBA and you don't watch the NBA. That's all I'm saying. That's your job. Your job is to watch basketball, but you don't watch basketball.
Bro, it don't take nothing. It don't take nothing to get the NBA League Pass and watch the condensed version of the game, bro. It's only like 40 minutes, bro.
You think they do that?
I mean, they could. You sitting here doing all this other stuff. You could have the game in one ear while you sitting there doing whatever, G. It ain't that hard.
But I'm saying, you really think they be doing it though?
Oh no, of course no.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just don't like that.